Chapter 4. Zhang Jiarui was a scholar. He felt he was above arguing with Tweety. After calming down his agitated emotions, he sneered. Everyone here knows exactly who's the one really speaking nonsense. I'm sorry, I really don't know what you're talking about. When I first took over my family property, I didn't dare drastically change anything, so I kept the rules set by my father. These past 3 years, I've been collecting 50%, but 2 months ago, I changed it to 30%. And after seeing the bad harvest for this year, I simply waived it. My account books can verify it. Little brother, if you're saying something like this, there must be a misunderstanding. Zhou Yunsheng slowly opened. Zhang Jiarui ridiculed. There is no misunderstanding. Just yesterday, Zhu Laoxi came to my house to press for rent 60% of the grain, not a percent less. Zhu Yunsheng's face turned terribly gloomy when he heard this. He looked towards the young guard. This guard was none other than Zhu Laoxi's son, Zhu Fushun. He'd wanted to hide with his father, but unexpectedly the master requested that he'd follow him up the mountains. Zhu Laoxi left him behind in order to show his loyalty. Since Zhu Ziyu became the head of the family, Zhu Laoxi has corrupted the Zhu family property. Zhu Fushun was raised to be incomparably big and obese. He looked more like a landlord's son than Zhu Ziyu. However, his appearance was like a pig, but his inside was cowardly. Under Zhu Ziyu's stare, and after the other guards encircled him and held a sword to his neck, he instantly fell limp like mud. He kneeled on the ground, wiping his tears while kowtowing. Unfortunately, his tongue was in a knot, so his babbling was incoherent. Zhu Yunsheng pointed to him and said, "This is Zhu Laoxi's son. I really don't know anything about a 60% rent, so when the bandits retreat, I'll take him to go find Zhu Laoxi. We'll certainly give the villagers an account." He didn't say much, but the people present could already figure out that something was fishy. Zhu Ziyu said he only got 30% rent, but Zhu Laoxi took away 60%. It was self-evident where the missing 30% went. Zhou Yunsheng paused, then continued. Moreover, in my father's time, we only charged 50%, never 60%. Whoever ate the extra 10%, I'll make sure to vomit it out and return it to everyone. His expression was ruthless, his tone cold. Zhang Shulin was almost fully convinced of his story. Shinsei gave him a deep look, then dropped his eyes to stare at the fire, his thoughts hidden. Zhang Jiarui had an extreme character. Once he hated someone, it was very difficult for him to change course. He sneered. At the end of the day, don't you get to decide how much rent is collected? After provoking public resentment, you present as a scapegoat. After all, he's your family's servant. His good and bad, his life and death, you have the final say. That Zhu Laoxi has been the villain's flunky for so many years. He certainly never thought he'd see that day become the bow that's thrown away after the birds disappear. How pathetic. Boy, you're speaking facts. Zhu Yunsheng praised Zhang Jiarui in his heart, but his expression was very gloomy. He assured, I, Zhu Ziyu, don't consider myself a good man, but I'm not wicked. I would never prey on the villagers. I dare swear to the heavens, if I really instigated Zhu Laoxi to exploit the villagers, may lightning strike me down to a painful death, and after death send me to the 18th layer of hell, so that I will never reincarnate. The ancients had great faith in fate. With him daring to speak such a poisonous oath, Zhang Jiarui was rendered speechless. Tweety and Lu Shi were angered to tears. They really wanted the guards to drive the aggressive boy out. Qin She suddenly crushed her arm, thick firewood in hand, saying gravely, "Don't recklessly say such a poisonous oath. Your words. I. We all believe it." In the pause, he filled in a "we." It sounded rather unnatural. Julian Cheng raised his eyes and glanced at him. His mood was obviously unpleasant. Zhang Jiarui was in even more of a bad mood. He criticized. "Let's put aside the rent for the time being. You robbed my family's secret recipe. This is an indisputable fact, right?" Julian Chang was already getting tired of his aggressive attitude. This time he didn't hold back. "I have a very sensitive tongue. I have no need to demand your secret recipe. I only have to eat it once to know the cooking method. Why would I order Zhu Laoshi to steal it? Wouldn't it be pointless?" Zhu Laoshi was greedy, so he used my name to do that evil deed. He wanted to present the recipe to me to claim credit, but I rejected it. I even told him to bring it back, but he didn't return it. That is not my responsibility. There are no debts without creditors, and no hatred without cause. If you guys want to find fault, don't come to me. But honestly, I really don't like those eggs. Only the taste and look are a little unique, but eating too much of it will greatly harm your body. It's basically poison." The amount of information in his words was really too much. Zhang Jiarui momentarily didn't know which point to question. After half a day, he shouted red-faced, "What nonsense are you spouting? How can my family's century eggs be poisonous?" "Whether or not it's poison, don't you guys know for yourself?" His beautiful peach blossom eyes peered at Zhang Lin. "No way. Some ancients actually knew that they shouldn't eat too much century eggs." Shulin felt somewhat guilty, and his face involuntarily showed it. Lince seemed to sense something, his eyes darkening. Zhang Jiarui looked at his brother, then looked back at Zhou Yunsheng, his already red face reddening further, until it could drip blood. Zhou Yunsheng didn't want to let the Zhang family off easily. He continued, "The century eggs are made when the duck egg is wrapped with a mixture of soda ash, quicklime, salt, and a certain percentage of lead oxide, plus clay and bran, and pickled for 15 or 16 days. Lead oxide is a traditional Chinese medicine ingredient. It's pungent, salty, cold, and poisonous. It's used to treat boils, ulcers, excessive incised wound bleeding, canker sores, cataracts, burns, ringworms, epilepsy, malaria, dysentery, vomiting, and other illnesses. An appropriate amount can treat illness, but excessive amount will remain in the liver, lungs, kidney, and brain, causing nausea, vomiting, headache, dizziness, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and other ailments. Children are especially affected. If they eat too much, not only will their teeth not grow well, their bones will easily break, which are disastrous consequences. How could I, Zhu Yu, sell such a thing?" Meaning the Zhang family knew that it was poisonous and still sold it. All the money they earned was black money. The Zhang couple saw him speak so confidently and had already started believing him. They stared at Zhang Shulin in disbelief. Zhang Julian's face was now red, like Zhang Jiarui's bright red, faintly stinging like he'd received a dozen slaps. He felt uncomfortable and ashamed. He naturally knew the reason why century eggs couldn't be eaten too often. He thought that since everyone didn't eat it every day, there was little harm, so there was no need to say it and affect the business. Now, Zhou Yunsheng had exposed the unpleasant truth, and it looked like he deliberately intended to harm people. Even if he had 100 mouths, it wouldn't be enough to defend himself. After stalling for half a day, he stammered, "The things the landlord talked about, I really had no idea. Fortunately, my family stopped selling them." How could Jinsei not see that he was lying? He immediately frowned. Zhang Jiarui immediately cut in. Yeah, my family stopped selling those century eggs a while ago, but your Zhu family opened a shop in the town. It specialized in selling century eggs. Doc, who owns that shop? Jun Sheng didn't bother acknowledging Zhang Jiarui. He held a red-hot poker stick and jabbed Zhu Fushun's ass. Zhu Fushun cried out bitterly, Master, please spare me. The shop is my father's. That recipe was also secretly confiscated by my father. When we go back, I'll immediately ask my father to return the money and shop. No need. Guilty of both bullying the villagers and coveting your master's property. You'd better use that shop and money to lobby with the authorities. Maybe you can get your father a lighter sentence. This meant that this wasn't going to be privately settled. He was planning to report it to the officials. Zhu Fushun was scared out of his wits. He quickly jumped over to No Town for mercy, but was knocked unconscious by a stone thrown by Qinse. Zhang Jiarui was rendered speechless, uttering a very dissatisfied huff. Unexpectedly, Tweety opened the package and removed a box of Sichuan chicken strips to distribute to everyone. She beamed. This is Lu Wei. My young master improved the recipe after eating yours. You guys try it. Like my young master said earlier, century eggs can be eaten occasionally, but you can't eat too much. Since you guys know, you should tell everyone sooner rather than later. The rich aroma instantly filled the cave. The already hungry residents gulped. Chinse's characteristic was a loyal dog, Gong, with a black hole for a stomach, so he couldn't resist twisting out a slice first, his dark eyes radiating a brilliant light. Sesame paste, sugar, vinegar, chili oil, Sichuan pepper powder, sesame oil, refined salt, and other seasonings mixed into the bowl evenly, drenching the crispy yet soft chicken strips. Finally, they were sprinkled with tossed sesame seeds. Forget about the smell. Merely the reddish gold color was extremely eye-catching. Once in the mouth, the meat was tender, salty, sweet, peppery, spicy, and sour, all in one without overpowering each other. 1,000 flavors all revolved around the tip of the tongue, making it a memorable dish. This craftsman is comparable to an imperial chef. Zhang family's Sichuan chicken is not even in the same league, Jinsei evaluated pertinently. After each Zhang family member tasted it, their faces turned red, then white, then green, then purple. It looked really spectacular. Zhang Sheng gave Jinsei a slanted look, snorting out, You've eaten an imperial feast? Jinsei hesitated for a moment before shaking his head. No, just an analogy. Then he quickly glanced at the gorgeous young man's peerless face, then bowed his head and secretly thought, The Sichuan chicken is good, but Ziyu's squinted peach blossom eyes are even more wonderful. Xu Sheng no longer paid attention to him. He stared at the two brothers, Zhang Jiarui and Zhang Shulin, and spoke word by word. I am an epicure. My tongue is particularly keen. With just a taste, I can understand the cooking method of every delicious dish and also improve it. I'm a private person, so I prefer enjoying the food myself rather than selling it to outsiders. You sell yours, I'll eat mine. No one has to get in anyone's way. If I really wanted to make things difficult for you guys, I would have thoroughly cut off your livelihood a long time ago. I'll be honest, your Zhang family's Lu Wei and hot pot actually taste quite mediocre. The only reason they stand out is their novelty. They are not so valuable that I, Zhu Ziyu, have to take them by force. He paused a little to enjoy the Zhang family's ashamed expression. Then he pulled out a white handkerchief from his bosom, picked up a small half-burned stick, and sketched out a new marinated recipe, handing it over. Zhu Laoxi is my family servant. Since he robbed your family's secret recipe, although I had nothing to do with it, it was my lack of oversight. This is the recipe that I was most satisfied with after many adjustments. You guys should bring it back. Treat it as compensation. In the future, if you still have the same sour faces when you see me, I won't be as polite as I am now. If someone respects me for a foot, I'll honor them for 10. If someone owes me one, I must get back 1,000. I, Zhu Xiyu, am this type of person. Throwing the handkerchief over, he squinted slightly, his lazy look revealing a bit of arrogance. Zhang Jiarui was very smart. He knew that this recipe would bring a lot of benefits to the Zhang family, so he endured the pain of being slapped in the face as he reached out to pick it up. However, he was blocked by Zhang Shulin, who held the handkerchief with two hands and handed it back, stammering, "It's us who misunderstood you. Landlord, you're not in the wrong. We are. We really wronged a good person. We don't dare take this recipe. Please take it back." He saw that Zhu Xiyu wasn't moving, so he handed it to Tweety. Tweety was reluctant to give the Zhang family even a small advantage, so she immediately took it back. Zhu Yusheng pointed at him with a stick, sneering, "Hypocrite." There was a well-known phrase with that word in modern times. Bitches are hypocrites. Zhang Shulin couldn't figure out if this word had that meaning or not, thinking that he, as an ancient, shouldn't have this knowledge. He just gave an embarrassed laugh. After a series of face-slapping, Shang Shulin's feeling of superiority as a modern man had long since vanished.